This is a big one. I tell this to people and they go, whoa, Yoel, I never thought about this. I never thought about this. Well, hopefully now you'll think about this. It's very simple. It's so simple you might miss it. So I want you to pay close attention. It goes like this. Schedule training time with yourself. I'll say it again. Schedule training time with yourself. So here's a concept I want to introduce to you, and I want you to kind of see how far you can run with it. Yes, you have your CFI through training. But what I want you to do is I want you to start imagining a version of yourself. This will sound crazy, but stick with me. I want you to imagine a version of yourself that is your own CFI. So I want you to try and imagine your face and put the title of CFI on it. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you just started private pilot. I don't care if you don't know what an aileron is. I want you to imagine you're a CFI of yourself, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you every week, I don't know if you have a calendar or however you keep track of your lessons with your actual instructor and with the flight school, I want you to go into that calendar and I want you to schedule out time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It could be 2 hours a week, an hour here and an hour there. But I want you to actually schedule that time with you, the CFI, and I want you to go study with them. I want you to train with them if you already reached the solo phase. But if not, I want you to study with them at home. But the most important part of what I'm saying here is, because you might say I'm already studying, I want you to actually schedule and set aside time with yourself, okay? And this is extremely important. How often, looking back on a week when it comes to training, did you find that you perfectly made every single lesson you had scheduled with your instructor? You were there on time. Even if you had things going on in your life, you put them on hold. You told your friends, hey, I can't hang out tonight because I have a flight lesson. And you somehow got yourself to the school. And yet, if you look back at that same week, that same very week where you were very reliable here with the flight school and your instructor, you realize, whoa, I didn't get a lot of study time in. It's very interesting, right? And why is that? You're a reliable person. You made every single lesson. You showed up on time. You put things aside on hold, right? Maybe there's this girl you want to date, and you said, hey, I can only date you tomorrow because I'm going flying tonight. You probably did that. And yet you realize there's not a lot of study time that you put in. It's very interesting. Now, why is that? Well, it is because the time with yourself in that week was valued by you less than the time with your instructor and the airplane. And there's two reasons for this. The big obvious one is the time with your instructor and the airplane cost you money. The time with yourself was free. As humans, it's natural, don't be hard on yourself, to value things that cost us money more than things that we get for free. It's just the way the world is. But what we could control and what we could do, even though you won't go now spending money to study with yourself, what you could do and what I want you to do is what I call this third one, and that is schedule training time with yourself or study time with yourself, whatever you want to call that. And even though you won't pay you for your time, you could schedule you for your time. I know this is it's probably blowing your mind, this concept. I never thought of putting myself down in my calendar to spend time with me and go over material, right? It's a weird concept. It is weird. I acknowledge and I agree it might be weird. But it's amazing how when you schedule time with you, not just with you, anything we schedule, we're a lot more likely to show up to and make happen. Okay. Now, there still might be times where you'll go, it's just me. I'm not paying money. No one is missing anything if I don't show up. I'll study tomorrow. Sure, you'll probably do that. But the chances of you actually putting your life aside and honing down and spending time on the material and studying will go way up. And I've seen people who started scheduling time with themselves. I schedule time with myself. I schedule time with myself to do various different things. with only me in the picture, right? Because I know that the way my brain works, if it's in my, I'm a big calendar guy. I juggle a billion different things. If I don't have my calendar, I'd be all over the place. But if I put it down on the calendar, I'm 100 times more likely to make happen than if I don't put it down on the calendar. That's just the reality of things. So schedule training or study time with yourself. I promise that will make a difference for you, and ultimately it will save you money. Okay, this might be such a simple thing. You go, now try it. If you have a calendar, I want you next week, whenever you're watching this, or this week, to go ahead and block out an hour or two time, and you can call it anything you want. Training with whatever your name is, with yourself. And I'd be very curious to see if that makes a difference as far as your study habits are concerned.